Hey all, just got back from Burning Man and I want to document this experience. This was by far the best Burning Man I have ever been to. It was absolutely incredible. It rained like fucking crazy, got muddy. And by the way, I'm sorry, my voice is super sore because we were just screaming into the microphone. This was one of the only vehicles on Playa that could actually survive out and thrive in the fucking mud. It's a lot cleaner now because we just power washed it off. But holy shit. I spent the last basically 2 days ferrying people from Black Rock City to the gate. And I think we did over 100, 150, maybe even 200 people. I didn't always watch how many people got on, but I turned the back of the van into a passenger compartment where we'd throw baggage and luggage on there. Folks got up onto the roof rack where we had a speaker system and tables set up, ratchet strapped down with my DJ on top. Atten was fucking playing crazy music, just absolutely blasting as we ripped up and down Playa, ferrying people with all their luggage. Basically what happened is because we all got rained out so hard and a lot of folks had flights, children, people had emergencies at home or needed to get off Playa if they didn't bring enough food, water, whatever, or their tents were flooded. And those people started walking back, and it's a multi-mile hike back to the gate. And given that this was one of the only cars that could actually make it up and down, we decided to pack up, throw our DJ and set up our speaker system on the top, blast music, and carry people back and forth. The first experience, I think, our first trip we did the day after the rain. So if it's, what day is it today? If it's Monday today, so Monday today, Sunday is the first. And then, okay, so Saturday is when we started ferrying people. In the morning, I broke camp. We packed everything away. I pretty much all of my supplies fit here on my semi-disassembled bed. So like this part here was just full of boxes, and the rear was an entire passenger compartment. Also, I'm really thankful we brought a big ass bike rack because I unloaded all of my bikes. I left them on K Street and used it to put other people's bikes on there so we could get them out to the gate. And that first journey was in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon. In the morning we spent just turning this car into an art car and blasting around Playa. We were low on gas, but thankfully the folks at Hugzilla, Robot Heart, a few other camps donating gasoline. Vertical Camp, thank you. Honestly, thank you for everybody donating gas and other supplies, because that's what made this fucking happen. It's what allowed us to go back up and down Playa and carry people. And in the beginning, we were just offering emergency services, and if vehicles were blocking the road, I have a bull guard out in front, and I was able to push a few cars out of the way and get people unstuck. There was a few folks with bikes and scooters missing, or they were stuck in other camps and couldn't get back with all their gear, and so we were able to get them back. And it was actually one of the things that was disappointing is a lot of the Burning Man, the actual organizers, were real pissed with us. I know there was a no drive order, but given that we were one of the few cars that could actually get around, it was immoral for us to not offer our services for people. Not only were we able to create a constant party moving up and down with our DJ and speaker system on top. By the way, speakers over there, entirely solar powered. You can see the solar panels are hanging off on this side. They're in a collapsed state right now, but able to deliver solar power music to the people and then keep the party rolling even while folks were walking through ankle and and shin high mud. Um, yeah, just incredible. And basically, I spent that entire night ferrying people Saturday night. As the evening grew darker, and I saw there were people out at K Street that were still walking with suitcases and backpacks over their heads. I decided to just start doing trips up and down, and so we just throw people in bag, put bags in the back. People would hang on the top, on the side, there's a there's yeah, stairs going up. People are just hanging all over the car, and we were ferrying them up and down. That first night, I think we made about 4 trips of 15 people each. So that was about 60 folks that night. And then the other unfortunate thing is well, only one of the police officers, to be fair, was kind of fishing for. He was wondering if I was on like drugs or alcohol. And again, I don't drink, and I'm not much into doing any sort of drugs. Don't smoke, nothing. So it was kind of a fun experience. He was trying to fish it out of me, and but just nothing in the car, and I don't put anything like that anywhere around me. So got away scot free. But they did tell us that if we came back, that they wouldn't let us back in, and so the rest of the trips. We wouldn't actually take people all the way to the highway. We'd drop them off about 50 or 100 feet from the edge of the playa. And they'd have to walk the last like 50 yards. That said, most of the police officers were just looking at us, shaking their heads and laughing. But I think they really appreciated our work and effort. And thankfully, the state of Nevada, and maybe even larger government entities put together an emergency response. And so there was a constant bus and shuttle service that was taking people to Gerlach and Reno and such. And then the local folks also started coming through. There was a lot of pickup trucks, a lot of the big gas guzzling 4x4s were coming through, and other folks started helping out and ferrying people back and forth. So eventually I wasn't the only one. But honestly speaking, best $3,000 I've ever spent. This car is an absolute beast. We when I woke up on Sunday, I don't think I even had enough time to get food. I drank some water, brushed my teeth, and literally as I was walking outside of our friend's tent, there was these 2 girls with backpacks, and I'm like. And my voice was way worse than it is now. I could out of whisper, so I asked them over, and I'm like, hey, do you need a ride to the gate? And they're like, oh my god, that's exactly where they were going. And so they jumped in, and I was gonna go pick up the DJ and get at and all set up on the roof, but just the trip just started as soon as I woke up, and so. Grabbed them, drove out to K, and again there was a bunch of folks out there already walking, and so picked up a batch and dropped them off. Picked up a batch, dropped them off. And as I ran low and lower on gasoline, where I made trips deeper into camps, and I asked folks to prioritize those who needed to get home first, so they would pack up. I would come back. They would give me gasoline. I would take the passengers who had flights or had emergencies at home or anything, pack them in. We would prioritize them, pick them up, drove them back. But as we made rounds, we'd pick up more and more people who were already walking. I even managed to get a full car unstuck. It's a bit rough because most of the cars were stuck in really deep mud, so there wasn't much I could do. I tried to push an RV, but it was just hopeless, and I didn't want to get stuck myself since I was doing pretty good. I did have the engine overheat, accidentally red barred it. So much mud had gone up, it like destroyed my electric fan setup, and so I had to hot wire the fan together just to get it working. I had the engine stall out a few times, but thankfully I had all my tools in the back and ripped open the hood, soldered stuff back, and got the vehicle on the road. And basically by the end of the night, I think we'd done like 20 trips. 15 people each, so definitely over 100 folks total, maybe 200, I don't know, but but I'm so grateful because so many people made donations for gasoline and all sorts of bling and whatnot. And thank you all. Thank you so much for participating. And again, if you want to make donations, leave my Venmo. All of that money will get turned into art car because this bad boy is turning into a massive art car next year. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but trust me, it's gonna be good. And we'll make sure that we have skid plates on the bottom, so if it rains again, we can carry even more people for even longer. The only reason I stopped is the rain started and the car was just sputtering. I mean, there's nothing left of the filter. I was running extremely rich. It was backfiring. The ignition was like I could hear the spark plugs like bridging over to a chassis instead of actually igniting cylinders. Thankfully, I had diagnostics equipment so I could read off. See the flashing thing. Very useful tool, by the way. I could read off what was wrong with the car, and we had like 10 or 20 codes running at any given time. Everything from the mass airflows, just sensor being completely out, to camshaft, a crankshaft sensor, all the oxygen sensors, everything was on. So the engine had no idea what speed it was spitting at, how much RPM there was. So anytime I'd push the brakes or reverse, the engine would stall out, and so I just had to keep gassing. Basically, ran it in a red line for hours at a time. So I think I actually on the odometer I did a total of 130 miles in that 24-hour period, or maybe 36-hour period on Playa. Ran through about 2 tanks of gasoline, so it's 26 gallons for almost 50 gallons of gasoline, or 100, so about 2 to 3 miles per gallon going back and forth through the mud. Just completely floored the entire time. Jesus Christ, I can't believe this engine survived this. I'm just so incredibly grateful for Chevy for putting together their small block LS. This thing is a beast. Or is it it might be a Vortec. It's a Vortec, V6 Vortec. An incredible engine, survives. I did a transmission rebuild a few months ago, and I took apart the transmission, so thankfully that was doing all right. But even towards the end, there's so much mud caked onto all the connectors and the cable that I couldn't switch gears. But what also really saved me is, if you can see here, I changed out the transfer case, so I put a 4x4 so I could actually lock into 4 low, and that helped out a lot. I don't know, I'm just incredibly grateful, fucking so stoked that I was able to help all those folks, and I'm unloading right now. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and might actually go drive back out to Playa. I have a lot of friends still stuck out there, and if it gets real gnarly, I'll definitely drive out and keep the service going. But I need to bolt on something, some makeshift sort of skid plate, so that I don't destroy all the engine components again and get stuck out there. I need to change out the airflow filters, everything. So let me do that. Let me get the car running, because I live on top of a hill in Daly City, and I could barely get up the hill. I mean, this car's just backfiring. I have to floor it just to go 20 miles an hour up a hill. So, anyways, I'm so stoked. Thank you, everybody, and fuck your burn.